The views expressed are solely those of the speaker and not necessarily those of Paltalk.com, AVM Software, or its advertisers.
News Talk is online. News Talk Online is a production of Paltalk.com, the largest multimedia interactive program on the internet with more than 4 million unique users on demand on iTunes and on YouTube and on my blog, GaryBaumgarten.com, where you can post your comments whether you agree with yours truly or not. And you can also subscribe to my news feed, twitter.com/GaryBaumgarten. And just by subscribing to the feed, Lady Minx, you can qualify for a green nickname, a free premium nickname from Paltalk. So, Lady Minx, you should do that. Wait a minute, you already did, and you already won today. And thanks to our good friends at CRN Digital Talk Radio, we're syndicated to an additional. Oh, now T. Jonah is feeling left out. Oh my God. Now I'm going to never hear it from T. Jonah. And thanks to our good friends at CRN Digital Talk Radio, we're syndicated to an additional 12 million households. I am your host, Gary Baumgarten. I welcome you to the show. Well, I've got 3 topics. The first one I think has been overexposed, but it's a very important one. I cannot believe that the President of the United States is coming before the American public once again tonight to talk about health care, after coming before the American public earlier today to talk about health reform, and after coming before the American public yesterday to talk about health reform, ad nauseum. And each time he talks about it, he says the same damn thing over and over and over again, my friend. But you know what? He's the president. At least he's talking to the nation and the world, which is more than we could say for the last president. I think the difference is this president reads the teleprompter. The last president didn't read, but I digress. I think he's overexposed on this issue. I think he shows that he is panicking about the issue. I think he's handling it as if he were running for president of the United States. Remember, he believes in bottom-up economics, all you Reaganites. And he also believes in bottom-up politics. He's hoping that the American people will pressure the members of Congress to pass his version of the bill. I'd like to know what you think in terms of what specifically we should be doing for health reform here in the United States. 2 other issues I'm going to toss out. If you have a 4th or 5th or 6th topic, feel free to raise it. But the other 2 I want to talk about have to do with Michael Jackson, believe it or not, the story that I've been attempting to avoid. But now CNN is reporting that the police are searching at this hour the office of his doctor, Conrad Murray, for evidence of manslaughter. Is it possible that Michael Jackson did not die from natural causes? His sister says no, he did not. She believes he was murdered. Apparently there were 4 pinholes in his neck. I don't know. I mean, if that's the case, it just adds to the tragedy, in my opinion. And the other story, the Senate today voted this down, but it's an interesting concept that it's going to come up again. And that is, if I have a permit to carry a gun in, say, Alabama, and I am traveling across the country to, say, Iowa, should I be permitted to carry my gun with me? Because I don't have a permit to carry the gun in Iowa or any of the other states in between Alabama and Iowa. I just use those 2 states arbitrarily. But we have reciprocity when it comes to driver's licenses. You don't need a driver's license for another state in order to drive in that state. They recognize your driver's license from your home state, and why shouldn't that be the case when it comes to a permit to carry a gun? And the reason they want to passed this, the proponents have been in support of this, is, well, if I'm a truck driver in particular, and I'm carrying large amounts of cash, and I need a gun to protect myself, I need a gun not just in the state where I claim my residency, but the states where I'm driving my truck. Well, gun control proponents, including Mike Bloomberg, the mayor of New York, are really opposed to this. He doesn't want average citizens carrying guns in New York City, whether they are permitted in other states or not. Okay, those are the three issues that I have for discussion. And like I say, if you have others, feel free to talk about them. But healthcare, of course, is the most important of the three. And we will be carrying the president's address to the nation at 8 o'clock New York time, or press conference, live right here on News Talk Online on Paltalk.com. You don't want to miss that. Cassandra in the United Kingdom. Cassandra, welcome to News Talk Online on Paltalk.com.
Well, thank you very much, Gary. And, you know, here in the virtual auditorium, I'm picking up some flack from people, you know, about being a Brit and commenting on American healthcare. And
well,
you know what I say?
I will comment on British healthcare. If you have the audacity to talk about our healthcare, Missy, then I'm going to talk about British healthcare. What right do you have to? Of course you have the right to talk about it, for goodness sakes. We've been talking about Iran for weeks now. I guess if you don't live in Iran, those who are criticizing Cassandra for coming to the mic, you don't have the right to talk about it. How ridiculous. It's a global world that we are part of here on Paltalk.com. Go right ahead, Cassandra.
Well, I intend to, but what I wanted to compare it with, Obama reminds me of Tony Blair when he was in office and he was trying to get some bills passed, and he sent it to the House of Lords. He sent it to the House of Commons, and it went to the House of Lords, and they rejected it. So it went back to the Commons, and he said, I will keep on bringing this to you until you pass it. In other words, like Louis XIV, the state is me. I will go on. I will persist. Now, he reminds me of Tony Blair in that respect. It's like a sport child saying, you know, I've told you you're going to have this, and you're going to have it, because I know what's best for you, and therefore you'll do it, and I'll keep on until I've worn you down, and you actually do what I want. And if he takes Tony,
that sounds like my daughter. Daddy, will you get me this? Daddy. She's 19 years old, but I just love it when she calls me Daddy, and she knows it.
Well, just buy her more cell phones. Just get a job lot of them. But you know, it's this attitude that I know best for what's best for you, and therefore that's what's going to happen.